Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadau Jayamudhiraya Nashta Prayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So please let me know if you see the screen and can hear me well.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can hear it.
Okay, nice.
And see you. See the picture on
Okay.
the screen.
You're able to see the chapter, right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Let me check. Yeah, I can see what I'm sure. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, Instructions by Mahārāja Pṛthu. Maitrevacha Mauktikai Kusuma Shrangvir Dukulai Swarna Toranai Mahasurabhir Dhupair Manditam Tatra Tatra Vai. The great sage Maitreya told Vidura, when the king entered his city, it was very beautifully decorated to receive him with pearls, flower garlands, beautiful cloth, and golden gates, and the entire city was perfumed with highly fragrant incense. Chandana Toyadra Ratya Chatvara Margavat Pushpakshata Phalay Topmair Lajair Archibher Architam. Fragrant water distilled from sandalwood and agaru herb was sprinkled everywhere on the lanes, roads, and small parks throughout the city, and everywhere were decorations of unbroken fruits, flowers, wetted grains, varied minerals, and lamps, all presented as auspicious paraphernalia. Savrandai Kadali Stambhai Pugapotai Parishkritam Tarupallavamala Sarvata Samalankritam. All the street crossings there were bunches of flowers, fruits and flowers, as well as pillars of banana trees and betel nut branches. All these combined decorations everywhere looked very attractive. प्रजातं दीपबलिभिः सम्भृताशेषमण्गलैः अभियुर्मृष्टकन्याश्च मृष्टकुण्डलमण्डिताः. As the king entered the gate of the city, all the citizens received him with many auspicious articles like lamps, flowers, and yogurt. The king was also received by many beautiful unmarried girls whose bodies were bedecked with various ornaments, especially with earrings which collided with one another. Shankadundubi Ghoshena Brahmagoshena Chatvijam Vivesha Bhavanam Viraha Stuyamano Gatasmaya. When the king entered the palace, conch shells and kettle drums were sounded, priests chanted Vedic mantras, and professional reciters offered different prayers. But in spite of all this ceremony to welcome him, the king was not the least bit affected. Pujita pujayam asa tatra tatra mahayashaha pauran janapadam tam tan prita priyavara pradaha. Both the important citizens and the common citizens welcomed the king very heartily, and he also bestowed upon them their desired blessings. स एव आदिनि अनवद्यचेष्टितः कर्माणि भूयांसि महात्मनः कुर्वन् शशासावि sorry कुर्वन् शशासावनि मण्डलं यशः स्फीत स्फीत निदायारुरुहे परम padam. King Pṛthu was greater than the greatest soul and was therefore worshipable by everyone. He performed many glorious activities in ruling over the surface of the world and was always magnanimous. After achieving such great success and a reputation which spread throughout the universe, he at last obtained the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. सूत उवाच तत् आदिराजस्य यशो विजृम्भितं गुणैरशेषैर्गुणवत् सभाजितं क्षत्ता महाभागवतः सदस्पते कौसारविं प्राह गृह्णन्ति अर्चयन्. Suta Goswami continued, O Shaunaka, leader of the great sages, after hearing Maitreya speak about the various activities of King Pṛthu, the original king, who was fully qualified, glorified, and widely praised all over the world, Vidura, the great devotee, very submissively worshipped Maitreya Rishi and asked him the following question. विदुरवाच सोऽभिषिक्तः पृथुर्विप्रैर्लब्धाशेषसुराहनः बिभ्रत्स वैष्णवं तेजो बाह्वोर्याभ्यां दुदोहगाम्. Vidura said, My dear Brahmana, Maitreya, it is very enlightening to understand that King Pṛthu was enthroned by the great sages and Brahmanas. All the demigods presented him with innumerable gifts, and he also expanded his influence upon personally receiving strength from Lord Vishnu. Thus, he greatly developed the earth. कोन्वस्य कीर्तिं न शृणोति अभिज्ञो यद्विक्रमोच्छिष्टम् अशेषभूपाः लोकाः सपाला उपजीवन्ति कामम् अद्यापि तन्मे वद कर्म शुद्धम्. Pṛthu Maharaj was so great in his activities and magnanimous in his method of ruling that all the kings and demigods on the various planets still follow in his footsteps. Who is there who will not try to hear about his glorious activities? I wish to hear more and more about Pṛthu Maharaj because his activities are so pious and auspicious. मैत्रेवाच गङ्गायमुनयोर्नद्योरन्तराक्षेत्रम् आवसन् आरब्धान् एव बुभुजे भोगान् पुण्यजिहासया. The great saintly sage Maitreya told Vidura, my dear king, my dear Vidura, King Pṛthu lived in the tract of land between two great rivers Ganga and Yamuna. Because he was very opulent, it appeared that he was enjoying his destined fortune in order to diminish the results of his past pious activities. सर्वत्राखिलतादय सर्वत्राखिलतादेशः सप्तद्वीपैकदण्डदृक् अन्यत्र ब्राह्मणकुलात् अन्यत्राच्युत गोत्रतः. Maharaj Pṛthu was an unrivaled king and possessed the scepter for ruling all the 7 islands on the surface of the globe. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders but the saintly persons, the Brahmanas, and the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vaishnavas. एकदासीन् महाशस्त्र दीक्षा तत्र दिवौकशां समाजो ब्रह्मर्षीणां च राजर्षीणां च सत्तमा. Once upon a time, King Pṛthu initiated the performance of a very great sacrifice in which great saintly sages, brahmanas, demigods from higher planetary systems, and great saintly kings known as Rajarshis all assembled together. तस्मिन् अर्हत्सु सर्वेषु स्व अर्चितेषु यथार्हतः उत्थिता सदसो मध्ये ताराणाम् उडुराड् इव. In the great assembly, Maharaj Pṛthu first of all worshipped all the respectful visitors according to their respective positions. After this, he stood up in the midst of the assembly, and it appeared that the full moon had arisen amongst the stars. प्रांशु पीनायतः भुजो गौरः कञ्जारुणेक्षणः सनासः सुमुखः सौम्यः पीनांश सुद्विजः स्मितः. King Pṛthu's body was tall and sturdy, and his complexion was fair. His arms were full and broad, and his eyes as bright as the rising sun. His nose was straight, his face very beautiful, and his personality grave. His teeth were set beautifully in his smiling face. यूधवक्ष व्रजश्रोणिर् श्रोणिर्वलिवल्गु दलोदरः आवर्तनाभिरोजस्वी काञ्चन काञ्चनोरुर् उदग्रहपात्. The chest of Maharaj Pṛthu was very broad, his waist was very thick, and his abdomen, wrinkled by the lines of skin, resembled in construction a leaf of a banyan tree. His navel was coiled and deep, his thighs were of golden hue, and his instep was arched. सूक्ष्मवक्राशितः स्निग्धा मूर्धजः कम्बुकण्डरः कन्धरः महाधने दुकूलाग्रे परिधायोपवीय च. The black slick hair on his head was very fine and curly, and his neck, like a conch shell, was decorated with auspicious lines. He wore a very he wore a very valuable dhoti, and there was a nice wrapper on the upper part of his body. व्यञ्जिताशेषगात्रश्रीर्नियमे न्यष्टभूषणः कृष्णाजिनधरः श्रीमान् कुशापाणि कृतोचितः. As Maharaj Pṛthu was being initiated to perform the sacrifice, he had to leave aside his valuable dress, and therefore his natural bodily beauty was visible. It was very pleasing to see him put on a black deer skin and wear a ring of kusha grass on his finger, for this increased the natural beauty of his body. It appears that Maharaj Pṛthu observed all the regulative principles before he performed the sacrifice. शिशिरस्निग्धताराक्षः समैक्षत समन्ततः ऊर्चिवान् इदम् उर्वीशः सदः संहर्षयन् इव. Just to encourage the members of the assembly and to enhance their pleasure, King Pṛthu glanced over them with eyes that seemed like stars in a sky wet with dew. He then spoke to them in a great voice. चारुचित्रपदं श्लक्ष्णं मृष्टं गूढम् अविक्लवं सर्वेषाम् उपकारार्थं तदा अनुवदन् इव. Maharaj Pṛthu's speech was very beautiful, full of metaphorical language, clearly understandable and very pleasing to hear. His words were all grave and certain. It appears that when he spoke, he expressed his personal realization of the absolute truth in order to benefit all who were present. राजोवाच सभ्या शृणुत भद्रं वः साधवो य इहागताः सत्सु जिज्ञासुभिर्धर्मम् आवेद्यं स्वमनीषितम्. King Pṛthu said, O gentle members of the assembly, may all good fortune be upon you. May all of you great souls who have come to attend this meeting kindly hear my prayer attentively. A person who is actually inquisitive must present his decision before an assembly of noble souls. अहं दण्डधरो राजा प्रजानामिह योगजितः रक्षिता वृत्तिदस्वेषु सेतुषु सेतुषु स्थापिता पृथक्. King Pṛthu continued, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, I have been appointed the king of this planet, and I carry the scepter to rule the citizens, protect them from all danger, and give them employment according to their respective positions in the social order established by Vedic injunction. तस्य मे तद् अनुष्ठानाद् यानाहुर्ब्रह्मवादिनः लोकस्य कामसन्दोह यस्य तुष्यति दिष्टदृक्. Maharaj Pṛthu said, I think that upon the execution of my duties as king, I shall be able to achieve the desirable objectives described by experts in Vedic knowledge. This destination is certainly achieved by the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the seer of all destiny. य उद्धरयेत् करं राजा प्रजाधर्मेष्व शिक्षयन् प्रजानां समलं भुङ्क्ते भगं च swam jahati saha. Any king who does not teach his citizens about their respective duties in terms of varna and ashrama, but who simply exacts tolls and taxes from them is liable to suffer for the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. Tat praja bhartarpindartham swartham evanu suyavaha कुरुताधोक्षज दियस तरहि मे अनुग्रहः कृतः. Pṛthu Maharaj continued, therefore, my dear citizens, for the welfare of your king after his death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of your position of Varna and Ashrama and should always think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within your hearts. By doing so, you will protect your own interest and you will bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after death. यूयं तद् अनुमोदध्वं पितृदेवर्षयो मलाः कर्तुशास्तुर् अनुज्ञातुस् तुल्यं यत् प्रेत्य तत्फलम्. I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers and saintly persons to support my proposal. For after death, the result of an action is equally shared by its doers, its director, and its supporter. Hare Krishna. We'll take the second part tomorrow. Stop here. So, so king comes back after being blessed by the Lord. And so what instructions did the king give to his citizens are very important because these are very, very valuable, timeless. These are also applicable even now. One can benefit. So, in the first verse, the Prabhupada is giving real opulence is supplied by natural gifts such as gold, silver, pearls, valuable stones, fresh flowers, trees, and silken cloth. Thus, the Vedic civilization recommends opulence and decoration with these natural gifts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, as much as possible, whatever we offer in the service of the Lord, if we can use natural, that is most recommended. Such opulences immediately change the condition of mind and the entire atmosphere becomes spiritualized. It is not that, okay, what is the purpose? Is it showing off? No, in one way, these natural elements are used in the service of the Lord, which are created by the Lord for a purpose. Yeah, and of course, we have so many synthetic, processed, so many things which are not so good to use. And then we go to verse 4. As the king entered the gate of the city, all the citizens received him with many auspicious articles like lamps, flowers, and yogurt. So, what are the things that are auspicious while receiving someone? Are lamps, yeah, that we can, and then flowers, and then yogurt. The king was also received by many beautiful unmarried girls whose bodies were bedecked with various ornaments. In the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning similarly a welcome offered by unmarried girls who are internally and externally clean, uh, are dressed in nice garments and ornaments is also auspicious. So, Kumari or unmarried girls untouched by the hand of any member of opposite sex or auspicious members of the society. So, basically, whoever is um, Kanya is very auspicious. So, if such girls welcome, this is the culture we see also in Mathura. When there is some uh, special guest arriving, so they are welcomed by these girls inside. This is what is mentioned in the purport. Even today in Hindu society, the most conservative families do not allow unmarried girls to go out freely or mix with the boys. When thus protected, women as a class remain an always auspicious source of energy to men. Hmm. And then when king was received so nicely, the king didn't get puffed up, oh, thinking, oh, see, I am so great. This is a sign of wonderful character of great personalities. And then this king is welcomed and worshipped. So the king was greater than the greatest soul and was therefore worshipable by everyone. He performed many glorious activities in ruling over the surface of the world. So, in the purport, Prabhupada says the most important duty of the monarch or the government is to perform various sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literatures. The next duty of the king is to see that every citizen executes the prescribed duty for his particular community. So, it is the duty of the leader, it is the duty of the government to ensure that everyone gets a job, which also means, yeah, we can deploy the same model in our own. For example, the Publius times where it is so nice that it's not that all of us are call ourselves part of the community, but we should also make sure that we engage in serving the community. This is what we can see the according executed the prescribed duties for his particular community. It is the king's duty to see that everyone perfectly executes the duties prescribed for the varna and ashrama. Besides that, as exemplified by King Pṛthu, he must develop the earth for the greatest possible production of food grains. So our goal should be, yeah, our goal should be, or the visionary or the leader should uh, ensure that the community is advancing in spiritual uh, journey. Then verse 10, here it says, Pṛthu Maharaj was so great in his activities and magnanimous in his method of ruling. It says, I wish to hear more and more about Pṛthu Maharaj because his activities are so pious and auspicious. So, Vidura's purpose in hearing about Pṛthu Maharaj over and over again was to set an example for ordinary kings and executive heads who should be inclined to hear repeatedly about Pṛthu Maharaj's activities in order to also be able to rule over their kingdoms or states very faithfully. Hmm. So, and then Maitreya is saying, okay, King Pṛthu lived in the tract of land between Ganga and Yamuna. Hmm. Hmm. In Pṛthu Maharaj was not only a Shaktavesh avatar but also a great devotee. Uh, so we can see here, by the evidence of Shastra, Sanatan Goswami detected Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be a direct incarnation of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Lord Chaitanya never disclosed the fact, it is therefore generally recommended that the Acharya or Guru should not be accepted as an ordinary man. So, so and then in the next verse, verse number 12, there is mentioning of seven Saptadvipa. He has ruled seven. What are these? Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and what is that that's remaining? Russia, no? Oceania. Oceania. Uh,
Antarctica.
what?
Antarctica, the last, the southernmost.
Okay. Yeah, in the purport it's mentioned as Oceania. I don't know what is that. Hmm?
Oh,
So in the
Oceania is
modern age,
Australia.
people are under. Hmm?
Oceania is Australia.
No, no. Australia is already there. Anyway,
Okay.
so he ruled everything, and that's why here we can say this tract of land, which is between river Ganga and Yamuna, is called Brahmavarta, consists of what is known as modern age as portions of Punjab and North India. It is clear that the kings of India once ruled all over the world and that culture was Vedic. The word uh, as, Askalita. Askalita indicates that the orders by the king could not be disobeyed. So it is said, there is this very nice reference. It is therefore said, Arche Vishnu Shiladhir Gurushu Naramatir Vaishnave Jati Buddhir Vishnurva Vaishnavanam Kali Mala Mathane Padatirthe Ambu Buddhihi Shri Vishnur Namni Mantre Sakala Kalashu He Shabda Samanya Buddhir Vishno Sarvesh Tad Itara Samadhir Yasyava Naraki Saha. In Padma Puran, it is said, one who thinks the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone, who thinks of the spiritual master in disciplic succession as an ordinary man, who thinks the Vaishnava in Achyuta Gotra to belong to a certain caste or creed, or who thinks of Charnamrit or Ganga water, Ganges water as ordinary water, is taken to be a resident of hell. Hmm? So that's why it's very important. So from the facts presented in this verse, it appears that people in general should be controlled by the king until they come to the platform of Vaishnava or Brahmana, who are not under the control of anyone. Brahmana refers to one who knows Brahman, uh, and a Vaishnava is one who knows, who serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and then it is said that wanted to do a sacrifice, and then in which the great saintly sages, Brahmanas, demigods from higher planetary systems, great saintly kings, Rajarshis all assembled. Hmm? In the purport, Prabhupada mentioned, thus there was interplanetary communication via suitable airplanes and space vehicles. These days we may see some very what do you call this? Fictitious or fantasy movies that show so many things. But in reality, these advanced things were already there before. Mm. It is said, in that great assembly, Maharaj Pṛthu first of all worshipped all the respectable visitors according to their respective positions. In the first canto, there is a description of how Bhishma Dev has welcomed according to the different levels. After he stood up in the midst of the assembly and he appeared that a full moon has arisen among the stars. In the purport, it said, it is learned from the Vedic literature that one time when Maharaj Yudhishthir performed Rajasuya Yajna, Krishna took charge of washing the feet of the visitors. Similarly, Maharaj Pṛthu also arranged for proper reception of demigods, the saintly sages, the Brahmanas, and the kings. And then uh, it's mentioned, it goes further that the description of King Pṛthu, and then there is this verse number, let me see. Yeah. Okay. Verse number 21. Rajovacha sabhya shrunota bhadrambha. So he first addressed, O gentle members of the assembly, may all good fortune be upon you. In the purport, it is mentioned that Maharaj Pṛthu, however, was concerned with persons who were gentle, and therefore he first addressed all the honest persons, not caring for the envious. He did not, however, present himself as a royal authority empowered to command everyone, for he wanted to present his statement in humble submission. Uh, and then Aham Dandadharo Raja. So I am given the power to rule you all. I carry this scepter to rule the citizens, protect them from all danger, and give them employment according to their respective positions in social order. In the purport, there is description about how the Varnashrama system should be there and how the occupational duties or the one's work is to be followed. According to the Vedic system, the king is considered as the representative of the Godhead and is offered respects by the citizens as God in the human form of life. Hmm? After many, many births in lower species, when a living entity evolves to the human form of life, and in particular to the civilized human form of life, his society must be divided into four gradations. This and accordingly, this whole purport is telling how one should lead a life. Prajayate iti praja. What is praja means? The word praja refers to one who takes birth. Therefore, Pṛthu Maharaj guaranteed protection for Prajanam, all living entities who took birth in his kingdom. Praja refers not only to human beings but also to animals, trees, and every other living entity. It is the duty of the king to give all living entities protection and food, and so on and so forth. The disturbance of the animal population by wholesale slaughter produces a catastrophic future reaction for the butcher, his land, and his government. Uh, so that's why um, King Pṛthu is saying that any king who does not teach his citizens about their respective duties in terms of varna and ashrama, but who simply exacts tolls and taxes from them, is liable to suffer for the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. So whatever, if his citizens are not uh, dharmic, do not follow religion, whatever irreligious results that come out, it all goes to the king. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. Whatever he might be expert, but because of his people, he will have to suffer. Tat praja bhartur pindartam. It is said, my dear citizens, for the welfare of your king after his death, you should execute your duties properly in terms of your position of varna and ashrama. Should always think of the Supreme Lord within your heart. So he is saying, oh, please take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself, you are helping your king. By doing so, you will protect your own interest, if they are good, and you will bestow mercy upon your king for his welfare after the death. Uh, so, यूयं tad अनुमोदत्वं पितृदेवर्षयो malaha kartu shastur anujnatus tulyam yat pretya tat phalam. So he's saying, I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, saintly persons to support my proposal, for after death, the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter. Uh, what does that mean is, Maharaj Pṛthu has already explained that the chief duty of the government is to see that everyone executes his respective duty and is elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness. The government should be so conducted that automatically one is elevated to Krishna consciousness. So King Pṛthu therefore wanted his citizens to cooperate fully with him. For if they assented, they would enjoy the same profit as he after death. If Pṛthu Maharaj as a perfect king were elevated to heavenly planets, the citizens who cooperated by approving him will also elevate. So that's how it is seen. One who is supporting him will also get the benefit. Yeah, we stop here. Thank you. Okay. Yep. Are there any questions? No? Then, yeah, wish you a nice evening. We see us tomorrow. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।